Escalation clauses raise the stakes in bidding process. This was the headline in the Globe and Mail on Saturday, May the 1st, 2021. And in this video, we're going to talk about escalation clauses and Toronto real estate. What is an escalation clause? How is it used? And who is it really good for, if anyone? If you're interested in the answer to those questions, then make sure you stick around and watch this video. Hello there, my name is Jim Emilson and I am the founder of the Emilson Group real estate team in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And we're going to talk about escalation clauses today. And if you are new to our channel, please subscribe, like this video, hit the bell button, because we regularly bring you answers to questions about Toronto real estate, how to buy, how to sell, how to invest, what to stay away from. And we hope that you'll benefit from the material that we provide you free of charge right here. But today we're talking about escalation clauses, and this is something that is a relatively new phenomenon to the Toronto real estate market. And we're not seeing a lot of it, but it is out there, as is reflected in that Globe and Mail article. And I'll explain to you first of all why they are being used more and more. An escalation clause is a way to do an end run about winning in a multiple offer, aka bidding war situation. Because an escalation clause is where the buyer, in his or her offer to the seller, states that he will top the best offer that comes in on offer price by a set dollar amount. For example, by $5,000 or $10,000. Now, buyers are doing this more, or rather their agents, some real estate agents are using this tactic more because they're tired of seeing their buyers lose out in multiple offers where their buyer did not bring in the best price and therefore lost to another buyer. So the buyer writes up the offer, sends it to the seller's agent. Maybe there's 5 or 10 other offers, and the offer states that whatever the best offer is, their client's going to beat that offer by, let's say, $5,000. In some cases, that may mean that the seller goes with that buyer's offer because it gave them another $5,000. Let's think this through a little bit. Number one, that escalation clause that the buyer includes, if it has no cap, let's just say that the buyer thought worst case scenario on that $1 million house, they might have to pay up to $1.2 million. But it turns out there was an irrational offer at the table of $1.35 million. Now the buyer is contractually bound to pay $1,355,000, which may be way past what they can either afford, get the mortgage for, or what the property is actually worth. What about in that situation? You see, the thing is, the seller's agent, while a seller's agent must keep track of the number of offers, and that is done through what is called an 801 form, the seller's agent is not bound or obligated to actually disclose the terms of the other offers at the table. In fact, the seller's agent is not allowed to tell buyer's agent the terms of other offers. The seller's agent cannot say to a buyer's agent, hey, listen, the best offer we have is $1.3 million. If you beat it, the offer is yours. That's a no-no. Frankly, it's dirty pool if that happens. Seller's agent should be ashamed if they do that. The buyer is at risk of paying much more for the property than the property is worth, with no real proof that they had to pay that much for it. Point number 2 is this. An escalation clause could include a top price, a ceiling that particular buyer is willing to pay. So going back to the scenario that they think the home is worth at most $1.2 million, the escalation clause may say that the buyer will pay $5,000 more than the best price, up to a cap of $1.2 million. What's wrong with that? Let's think it through, folks. Now the buyer has actually told the seller the top price that they're willing to pay. I mean, since when do we negotiate that way? It's the wrong way to negotiate. It's a bad idea. And it's not good for the buyer, and it's frankly, well, in that case, it might be better for the seller. Here's something else to think about with escalation clauses. The truth is that there is a lot of consumer angst around the whole process of buying and selling real estate, particularly in hot markets like Vancouver and Toronto. It undermines trust in the system that is being used. And so if buyers begin to believe that it doesn't even matter if they come in with the best offer that night, that someone else will use a technique like an escalation clause and beat them by $5,000, well, you know what buyers are going to do? They're not even going to come to the table. And I don't blame them. If the system is not a fair, level playing field for all, well, then there's no integrity left in the system. And that is not negotiable. So there's a number of other reasons why escalation clauses are, in my opinion, this is just me by the way, it's my opinion that they shouldn't be used. Now the Real Estate Council of Ontario does permit the use of escalation clauses and claims that there has not been an uptick in complaints about escalation clauses. But you mark my words, if this becomes more of a mainstream technique used by agents, well, there are going to be a lot of dissatisfied buyers and sellers, and even the potential for litigation, because this is just not the right way to treat the real estate negotiation process. That's my opinion. This is how I operate our business. If you're interested in learning more, the nitty-gritty, you feel free to reach out to me. But most importantly, we're a great real estate team. If you're looking to buy or sell or invest in real estate, we're here for you. And again, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button so you can keep getting content like this. And check out our video here that's all about bidding wars and gives you some tips on the right way to win them. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you in the next one.